have was my real life, and this is the fake life. So Salman al-Farsi, radiyallahu anhu, Abdullah bin Salam, radiyallahu anhu, he once had a dream. And this narration is in Sahih Bukhari. And in the dream, he saw a valley, and in the valley, there was a pillar. And then it was told to him to climb the pillar. So he, radiallahu anhu, he said, I cannot do it. But somehow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enabled him. They pushed him from behind and he was able. So he climbed and he grabbed on a wuthqa. He grabbed on something to grab on. And he woke up. That was his dream. And he came to the Prophet ﷺ afterwards. And he told the Prophet ﷺ about his dream. And as you know, the Prophet ﷺ, he's a mufassir of the dreams. And the Prophet ﷺ told him, the valley that you saw, it's Islam. And the pillar you saw, it's Islam. And al-wuthqa, the grab you had, means that you're going to hold upon Islam until your death, your whole life. Because Abdullah bin Salam, radiallahu anhu, Abdullah bin Salam, radiallahu anhu, when he woke up from his dream, he found the traces upon his hand of the grab. He found it upon his hand.
الشيخ يوسف اسمح لي تقطع في كلامك. كأنهم كلهم عرب لو تعملها بالعربية من أحسن فيدباك مرات.
كلمنا فيه الموضوع.
أنا استمعت كيف اللي ما يعرفوش اللغة يعني.
English. تفهم عربي؟
لو إذا ما فهمتوا شيء اسألوني.
ربما جددي درس هون يعني.
أحسن الله عليك. لو إذا ما فهمتوا شيء اسألوني. هي الإنجليزي اللغة الأولى لي والعربية الثانية. طيب. He woke up and he found the traces upon his hand. Abdullah bin Salam, I don't know if you know his story, but he was عالم من علماء اليهود. وهو جاء إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم سمع النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فجاء إليه. فكان عنده 3 أسئلة سأل النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال لا أحد يعرف هذا السؤال جواب هذا السؤال إلا نبي. And he asked him 3 questions. He said, what's the first food? أول أكل يأكله أصحاب الجنة. أول طعام يأكله أصحاب الجنة. And the second one, he said, what's the first sign of the day of judgment? And the third one, he said, how is it that a child looks like the father's side or the mother's side? And the Prophet ﷺ answered every one of them. Abdullah Salam, he said, I swear by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you're the messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No one knows these answers except the Prophet, except the Nabi.
Can you tell us what the answers were? Just
we can.
Especially the last one.
Which one? The last one.
Yeah.
The first sign?
No, not the first sign.
The trace of the sun. Yeah. We'll get into it.
Inshallah. Okay.
It gets. It's a very beautiful thing. Or we can go. Do we want to just focus on the topic right now?
Okay.
Sure. الشاهد لقولي هي رؤية الصحابي رضي الله عنه تأثير الحلم على يده. So it was the traces of الحلم upon his hand. نحن نؤمن أن الروح تخرج من الجسد في وقت النوم في حضر النوم وأن الله سبحانه يقول ذلك في القرآن. الله الذي يتوفى الأنفس حين موتها والتي لم تمت في منامها فيمسك التي قضى عليها الموت ويرسل الأخرى إلى أجل مسمى. فالروح تخرج من الجسد في حال الموت والنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم تكلم عن ذلك. فلذلك عمر الخطاب في أثر عن عمر الخطاب رضي الله عنه يقول هو معجب كيف how a person he sees things in his sleep he never even imagined and he never even saw with his own eyes. It goes back to the ruh. فلذلك لم إمام الشافعي رضي الله عنه كان مشهور في فن الفراسة لأن كما قلت لكم الروح عندها علاقة مع الجسد الظاهر وعكس ذلك الظاهر عندها علاقة مع الباطن فحال الباطن تتأثر على الظاهر وحال الظاهر تتأثر على الباطن. وأنا أضرب لكم مثال الحين And Yusuf قال نضر الله امرئا سمع مقالتي فوعاها فأداها كما سمعها. فالشاهد نضر الله امرئا. فالله سبحانه وتعالى يعطي نور من هذا الشخص في الدنيا وفي الآخرة. الله سبحانه وتعالى يعطي ذلك. فلذلك ابن القيم الجوزي هو كلم عن ذلك المسألة. فقال sometimes we see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He made the appearance of the ulama different from other people. They have a different appearance. Though the greater difference is in the state of the soul. The state of the soul. If 3 Hufad of the Quran, for example, they entered into this room, I can probably guess that 99% of you, just by looking at their face, will know that this person memorized the entire Quran. 99% of you will do that. And this is actually something very beautiful. It's very beautiful. As I said, the ulama, they said that the greatest example we have is sleep with regards to death. What happens in death? The greatest example we have is sleep. Because as I said, sleep is exactly what happens in death, its appearance. نحن نؤمن أن الجسد في الموت في حال الموت أن ملك الموت يجي يقبض الروح من الجسد. ثم تبقى الروح في مكان والجسد في مكان آخر. تفرقوا. وفي النوم نفس الشيء. تخرج الروح. طيب. When the angel of death takes the soul, he takes it on a trip. If anyone wants to go into deep with Muslim Imam Ahmad and Bara ibn Azib radiallahu anhu, he talks about it in great detail about what happens to the ruh. Then the jasad is somewhere else. What happens, the jasad will be cleaned and it will be taken. And what happens to the jasad at that point, at a certain time, it doesn't affect, there's no effect to the ruh, to the soul. Because the soul, it could be going through things of great delight, great blessed things. I'll explain to this in more detail, inshallah. But I'll give you an example. Abdullah ibn Zubayr radiallahu anhu, when he was in Medina, and his mother, Asma radiallahu ta'ala anha, the sister of Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, was still alive. And Zubayr, as you know, he was during a time of some fitna, and he was actually crucified. Zubayr radiallahu anhu. There was a time of fitna and he was killed in Medina. So what happened, Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, Abdullah ibn Zubayr, he's the one who was killed, the son of Zubayr radiallahu anhu. Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, he heard that his mother was weeping. She was sad. And he heard that Al-Hajjaj, he's doing things to the body of Abdullah ibn Zubayr after he was killed. So Abdullah ibn Umar, he went to his mother, Asma, and he told her that it's just the body. The ruh is somewhere else. So it's fine, he's not feeling it. The ruh is somewhere else. So what happens, my brothers, at the time of death, the soul separates from the body, and the soul goes through things, and the body is going through things that we see before our eyes. But what happens is, the soul and the body, they reconnect when the body is placed into the grave. When it's placed into the grave, it gets reconnected, the soul and the body. And actually, the soul returns back to the body. And that's why the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he said that the body, Sahih Bukhari, that after the body is placed in the grave, it's covered up, and the people leave, they can hear the footsteps of the people. So they can hear the footsteps of the people above them. That's why some of the ulama, they say that the deceased in the grave, he can always hear. He can always hear. Some other ulama, they say no, only at specific times. So the soul, it returns to the body so much so that the body, one narration actually, it sits up, because 2 angels come, Munkar and Nakir, they come and they sit up the body. Okay. At one point in between this stage, and while the soul was taken from the body and taken up, there is a point in between the stage that actually the Prophet ﷺ said, the body itself, when it's carried upon the people's shoulders, it will say, قَدِّمُونِي قدموني. It will say it. The body. The soul is somewhere and the body being carried by the people will say قدموني. Then he تعرف what's in store for her in the grave. You see, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed it to know what's in store for the person in the grave. So it says قدموني قدموني. طيب. When the body is placed in, we said that the soul returns back. So it has a connection to the body. And the angels will come and they will ask it 3 questions. من ربك من دينك من نبيك. And it will answer. And if it answered correctly, the grave will be expanded and there will be a window that's showing the deceased's place in paradise. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send to the deceased a body of a person which is his good deeds, and will come and accompany the person in the grave. Okay. And when the deceased person, he sees all of these things, he will say, رَبِّ أَقِمِ السَّاعَةِ. After he saw everything that's in store for